All right, we are back for round three. Stanley Cup playoffs here in 2025. Constantine, good to see you. Jacqueline, good to see you. Jacqueline, you're going to give us stats. How'd we do
Yes.
in the last
Well,
round?
as we head into round three, otherwise known as the conference finals, we are a hurting unit. However, our new friend Constantine was the shining star with a 50% on his 4 picks. So we were 25 each, Mike. We did not do well. So basically, as we break it down on the West, Jets versus Stars, we all picked wrong. The Jets lost, and the three of us were wrong. And the Dallas Stars made it, and they will be playing Edmonton Oilers tonight in their first game. So very exciting. It was not what any of us expected. The second matchup was the Knights Oilers. Um, Constantine and I were right. That was my only correct pick with the Oilers. So Mike, you were wrong on the Knights. And then as we move to the East, Mike and Constantine were correct on the Florida Panthers. I was wrong on believing in the stupid Leafs. Won't ever make that mistake again.
That was
Um,
brutal.
it was such a shame, especially those 2 home games where they lost 6-1. I mean, that's just embarrassing. It's just like shouldn't happen in professional hockey. So we'll just leave that there. Some of the AI generated videos of Austin Matthews are pretty funny.
It's brutal. So
Poor
good.
guy. Poor guy. All respect, he's a talented player, but I feel terrible. Anyway,
What they call him
and
a
we
stat? What do you call himself? A stat panda or something like that?
yes,
Stat patter during the regular
it
season?
was I think it was Stat Panda.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Stat Panda. I mean, they're just they do well during the regular season and then come to playoffs, it's choke after choke after choke. It's brutal. I mean, watching the game and seeing the fans throw their jerseys on the ice, I felt bad. I was like,
Yeah.
God, this has gotta hurt. Like brutal to be a Leafs fan right now.
I felt terrible. I really did. And then we all whiffed on the Caps Canes, and I was there to see it all go down. I was at Game 7 in Washington, D.C., 5 rows back from Rod Brindamore's head. It was really like first of all, he's a complete legend in the NHL. I love him. Player coach, he's just amazing. And he really coached that team well. But I don't know. I will see if they can do it against the Panthers. We'll see. But we were all wrong on that. So the Caps went down in flames, no pun intended. And so Jacqueline and Mike had one pick correct of 4 for 25% each, and Constantine had 2. So he, with the 50%, was the winner of round 2.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner. I feel like I've got heartbreak. I mean, I mean, some of those matchups again, we all chose Caps. I was a little bit surprised there, and then Dallas is just on fire. I mean, to run through the Jets like they did was a surprise to me. I don't think that Hellebuck was really at the peak of his game, and I think that
No,
proved to be a big decision factor there. I mean, Ottinger, that guy's standing on his fucking head. So they're
he's
looking good.
amazing.
They're looking good.
Ottinger looks amazing.
Yeah.
And yeah, Hellebuck just seems like he's got something going on. Like, I don't know if it's the space in between his ears or something else. I saw that he decided he said publicly that he chose to tweak his game in too many ways at the wrong time.
Yeah.
Which that's not necessarily what you want to see happening in the playoffs.
Yeah, I wouldn't be tweaking anything unless I was really bad.
Yeah.
If I was doing good, I'd just keep it the same. Anyway. All righty. So, gentlemen, now we've
Conference
just got
finals. This is the good stuff
Yeah.
now.
just 2 series to
What-
predict. It's sad we've gone down to 1 game a day, and sometimes there might be days off. Like, what's wrong with that? That's terrible.
Jacqueline, you were in the arena watching the Capitals play the Canes. What was wrong with the Caps?
It honestly looked like a high school or a college team was playing a professional team. It was stunningly bad hockey. And no disrespect, I actually love the Washington Capitals. I love their players. Their players were slower. Their passing was terrible. There was not crisp passes. There seemed to be no strategy. There seemed to be, when they would dish the puck out to the point, like no one was there. I thought that was sort of basic hockey rules, like, your position and be in your position. Seemed like everybody was not where they were supposed to be. And they were just horrible on the power play. Like, I don't even know if they made a power play goal. If they made any in the series, it was very few. And they just were, they couldn't, it was hard to describe. I mean, it was sort of like they were holding their own for the first 2 periods, and then all of a sudden it was just like a complete meltdown in the third period, and it went from bad to worse, and they were just slow.
I mean, it's 60 minutes of hockey. You got to play through all 60 minutes. The game, I mean, yeah, yes, games can be won and lost in 20 minutes, but it's like you got to play through all the way and back to basics. I mean, power play, I mean, man advantage. You got to take advantage of that stuff.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I expect power play goals to be scored.
Yeah. At least they weren't the Leafs.
But well, so I know you guys are talking about feeling bad for that fan base and feeling bad for the team. I give no fucks. Like, I think it's awesome to watch that team completely implode. Yeah, it's awesome to watch.
Dude, my skin crawls. Like I was watching post game interviews with Matthews, with Tavares, with Mitch Marner, and I mean they're professional athletes, so yes, they do have to have these conversations with the media and whatnot. But I mean, I don't know if I could be in their position and be like, dude, I just fucking lost 6-1 in game 7.
And I
I
don't
don't
want
want to fucking talk to you right now. Like, I mean, I understand. I think of like Marshawn Lynch in the NFL, and he's like, I'm just here so I don't get fined. And I'm just like laughing at that. But I mean, yeah, the questions of, well, how do you
How
feel?
does it feel to
I
suck?
feel like
do you mean?
shit. What do you think I feel right now? Like we just lost the biggest game of the season right now. Didn't show up. Like, I mean, yeah, I'd be livid. But I mean, they handle it with grace, and
I
it's
give them a
just
lot of credit.
it's tough. It would be really tough.
So at what
How does
point?
it feel to know that you just cost your teammates their season? Next question.
Yeah.
At what point do they go out and pick up Marshawn just so that they don't lose the guy in a game 7?
Yeah, that would be great. That would be awesome.
Oh my god.
Did you see his fight last night? That man, he is swinging. He's a player. He's a player, and everyone hates him for a good reason. But the guy's good. The guy's good.
I'm not gonna lie. My son once had a Brad Marchand T-shirt when he was on the Bruins, and we used to like him. And I've over the years have come to not like him anymore.
Yeah.
He's good.
He's one of those guys. He's like, and there always have been these players out in the league where you hate them when they're not on your team, and then you like
Right.
them when they are on your team because it's fun to watch.
Yeah, you
Kasperitis,
no room to talk.
yeah, Kasperitis.
He's on your team.
Is one of those guys. Domi, we
Yeah.
talked about him. Yeah, one of those guys. Marshawn,
So good.
another one of those guys. And it was absolute chicken shit for whoever that defenseman to launch a puck at Marshawn's head. I mean, that is I understand getting frustrated, but that's dangerous. That's a dangerous
agreed.
play. And you see the stuff in beer league type stuff. Well, I mean, come on. That was a high risk, low reward, lot of
Agreed.
frustration. And I think it's awesome to hear that the Canes looked that good against the Cavs and then came out and looked that bad against a team that won the Stanley Cup last year.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting matchup. I mean, you look at now the conference final. I mean, Canes and Panthers. It's a rematch of last year. And I if I remember correctly,
Isn't everything a rematch from last year?
no,
because it wasn't Canes last year.
I thought it was Canes because the Panthers
In the Eastern
swept
Conference
ago.
Final?
Yeah, 2 years ago in
It was
2023.
2 years ago. Okay.
Or,
I was like,
sorry,
not
yeah.
last year. Yeah.
But
The
yeah, I
Western
think
Conference Final
the
is the same.
Panthers swept 4-0 when they were against the Canes a couple years ago.
Bring out the brooms again after last night.
I mean, yeah.
I
don't
didn't
know.
recognize the team last night as the same team I saw in DC last Thursday.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just being honest. I don't know what happened, but they're gonna have to solve for it if they're gonna win a game. So let's do our opposite of what we usually do. Usually we start with the West. Let's start with the East.
Okay.
Let's talk about our predictions. So Mike, what say you for the Eastern Conference Final? I'm pretty sure I know the answer to this, but I will let you say it.
Panthers, and I believe it's going to be a sweep. Especially the way that the series started last night. I had figured this one was going to go 6 before last night, but the Canes don't look like a team that's ready to play this series, and I think the only thing that saves them is if Freddie gets super super hot.
Mhm.
But so
How many games?
I go Panthers in 4.
In 4. That is a
Right.
bold
Bringing out the
statement.
brooms, baby.
All right. What about you, Constantine? What do you say?
I'm torn on this. I am leaning towards what Mike thinks here. I do feel the Panthers call it out, but I want the Canes. I don't think it'll go 4. I think that the Canes wake up. I think that, I mean, as you referenced, Jacqueline, I mean, Rod Brindamore, great coach. So is Paul Maurice. I mean, incredible coaches in this matchup. So I think that it's gonna go longer than 4. I don't think it's
Yeah.
gonna be a sweep. I'd go 6.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm torn. Like, I mean, I feel like the Panthers are probably the better team in this instance. But I hope that the Canes like wake the fuck up. Like,
Yeah.
I never want a rematch of last season's winners.
God, no,
Like, I want
please.
I want a new winner. And not to say, like, I mean, loved that the Panthers won last year. I think that they were absolutely the better team in that matchup. So I'm gonna say I think the Panthers are gonna win, but I want the Hurricanes.
Okay, so your prediction is that the Panthers will win in 6, even though you want the Canes to win.
Yeah.
Okay. It's okay. You can
Yeah.
pick either.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just
No.
curious. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I hate Paul Maurice. Can't stand him. I love Matthew Kachuk though. I really do. And I like Verhage. I like Barkov. And Bobrovsky is probably my favorite goalie besides,
Great goalie.
Stuart Skinner and Jake Ottinger. But I got to pick somebody. I think I got to go with the Canes. I just maybe to be contrarian. I don't know. I don't want the Panthers to win because I don't want another matchup like last year. That would suck.
Yeah.
The team I saw play in DC was a different team than played last night, and I'm hoping that they make it back. I don't know. Maybe I should go with the Panthers. I'm really having a hard time like you are, Constantine.
Yeah.
I think it's going to go 7 games, actually. I think we'll see 7 games, and geez. I think, you know what? I think I'll stick with the Panthers like you guys because I think they probably will win, even though I'd like to see the Canes win. So I think we're all aligned on the Panthers taking the Eastern Conference and making a repeat trip to the final, although I reserve my right to change this before we end this podcast. Okay. All right.
I hope it's the
I'm
7
still
too,
waffling.
only because I don't want to go a day without hockey. So I hope it goes 7.
Yeah.
I just don't
Even though
think
you think
there's a
it's-
chance. I think they're mentally broken.
Yeah. All right. So let's go on to the West. Mike, what do you think on the Stars Oilers matchup? You going with Otter or are you going with Skinner?
His boyfriend, he loves Draisaitl.
That's me.
I know.
I'm the one that loves
I
Leon
know.
Draisaitl.
I know. That's why I'm saying it.
If only you guys had access to the Slack channel, you would see how all of this goes back and forth. But one of us has an infatuation with Leon Draisaitl, and he can do no wrong, and that is not
It's
me.
beautiful.
So
It's absolutely beautiful.
I'm going with Ottinger and the Stars. I would love to see him just continue to perform and do some really good things in goal, and I'd like to see Rantanen
Oh, I love him.
just
God.
just continue to build and take off. It'll be interesting to see what happens in tonight's game. I wonder if Edmonton, after everything that went on, with all the pressure, has now built themselves to go out there and win a cup. So I wouldn't be disappointed if Edmonton went all the way through and ended up winning, but I don't know that they get through Dallas, primarily because of the way the goaltender's playing.
Yeah, Andre's been like on fire. It's amazing in that last game. God, unbelievable. Well, I mean, I'm kind of excited about, the Star. I mean, like, look, I live in Dallas, so if the Stars win, that'll be a great thing for me as a local. So, it's always fun when Dallas and Texas teams are winning. When the Rangers won the World Series a couple of years ago, it was exciting. When the Stars advance in the playoffs, it's exciting for the city. So, how many games do you think it'll go, Mike?
Where's the game tonight?
Dallas.
It's in Dallas.
Yes.
7.
Ooh. 7 games. Well, Dallas has the advantage. They're the home team for the first 2 games. All right, Constantine, what say you?
I mean, this is going to be another great battle too. I mean, this is like Battle of the Titans. You've got the superstar pair in Draisaitl and McDavid, but they
Thank you
do
for
have
saying it in proper order.
Thank you. They do have. I mean, both teams have incredible depth. Like, I mean, it's that's just what it is. Both teams can roll 4 lines. I think that both teams are firing on all cylinders right now. And this is when it gets exciting, when you're in the conference final and you do have the 2 best teams that have honestly made it through.
Yeah.
Dallas knocked out 2 crazy teams in Vegas and in Colorado. I think that the Oilers, in my mind, I mean, kind of made some big upsets in the Kings and in the God, who did they just beat? Sorry.
The Oilers?
Winnipeg.
Oilers or Winnipeg,
The Jets.
The
I didn't
Jets,
know if
yes.
you're talking about
And
them.
so, like, I mean, seeing them come through that, it's awesome. I think I'm gonna lean on the Oilers. I wanted them to win last year, so I'd like to see them come back in and kind of finish it off. They've been, I mean, firing on the power play. I think that it's gonna be looking good, but to Mike's point before, it's gonna be hard to get past Ottinger. Like Ottinger he looks so good. And then, I mean, the shaky part of the Oilers right now, it's like, okay, are we doing Skinner or are we doing
Pickard?
Pickard, thank you, Picard. So like that might be the biggest game difference right there is who's in net. So I think I'm gonna say Oilers in 7.
Got it. All right. I'm going with the Oilers too. I think they're gonna win at home, so I'm gonna say 6 games.
I will say though, I mean, and this is going back to the last round, watching, and this is, I guess, just hockey in general, how much I think all of us love the sport of hockey and the amount of respect. Like I thought about Game 7 between the Stars and between the Jets, and how, I mean, you guys know Mark Scheifele, his father passed away the last game of the day, or that day of the game.
Yeah, it was awful.
He scored the goal, but then also took the penalty where they conceded the goal in overtime. And the amount of emotion, of course, that the entire team are feeling, I can't even, I'm getting chills just fucking talking about it.
The handshake was amazing. The way they all talked to Shifley.
That's my whole point. Like the handshake, the amount of respect, the camaraderie, the love. You don't see that in any other sport. Like you really don't. And that's why I mean, I don't care what fan you are or what team, like you just have to love. I mean, really, that's what it is. Passion,
100%.
Commitment, tenacity. Like these guys live and breathe this shit. And I think it's so cool. And I just have to call that out.
No, you're 100%. We've talked about that. Mike and I have talked about that before. I've written about it in my hockey commentary. It's one of the things I love so much about the sport. It's amazing to see, and the way they all just recognized, what Mark had gone through, and just, really showing so much respect to him in that handshake. It was incredible. It made me cry.
Yeah.
All right. I'm exercising my right to change my mind. I'm gonna go with the Canes, and I'll tell you why. Because I just remembered that my boy Brent Burns is a Cane now.
That is true.
And he turns into an absolute beast in playoff hockey. So
when is that guy not a beast? His beard is fucking insane.
His beard could check someone, I swear. Yeah, so I'm gonna just be a little contrarian. I'm gonna go with the Canes. We'll see. We'll see if I regret that pick. I don't really want them to win because I don't really like them, because they kind of pissed me off that night at the Capital One Arena, but I'm going to say that. So, all right. So we've got Mike's got Panthers and Stars. Constantine's got Panthers and Oilers. Jacqueline's got Canes and Oilers. So we all have different picks, which is kind of fun.
There we go. So I've got a question on the Scheifele penalty at the end of that game.
Yeah.
Should that have been a penalty shot?
We had the same question. I'll tell you why I say no. In a regular season game, maybe. In a Game 7 in the Stanley Cup, probably not. But I also don't think that who did he trip? Was it Jamie Benn? No, sorry.
Stone, who I think scored the goal in the game.
I couldn't remember who he tripped, but he wasn't in the process of taking a shot. And that's why I think they didn't call a penalty shot. I think it could have been called a penalty shot in a different situation. What do you think, Mike?
I tend to agree with that. Mike, what are your thoughts?
It's a penalty shot. Like he's unobstructed. The only thing in between him and the goaltender is that that player that makes the play. And if you're going to call it in the regular season, you call it in the postseason. And I actually think, as crazy as this sounds, I think the penalty shot gets called. I think Hellebuck makes the save. I think you go into overtime not being a man down, and I think Winnipeg ends up winning the series.
Could be a
So,
different
like, there are a number of different ways that all of that stuff could have played out. That should have been, in my view, my perspective.
I thought it was going to be like when he blew
too.
the whistle and raised the arm. I was like, oh, penalty shot! Oh my god! Do they do this very often? You know, like what? And then when he didn't call a penalty shot, I think were Olczyk and what's his face Albert calling that game that night. It's because I want to talk about announcers, like who's the best announcers. It ain't those other guys. I don't even know their names, right? It's Eddie Olczyk and the dude that came from New York. They're the best. I miss Doc Emmerich. I'm just gonna say it.
Doc Emmerich's great.
Emmerich would be great. But yeah, I think that was this is one of those things where you've got to call the game the way that you call the game and not make exceptions. Yeah, like I think the penalties last night. Who's the defenseman that shot the puck at Marchand? Starts with a G. It's
Gothisbehere. Shane Gothisbehere.
Shane Gothisbehere.
Like, what was the penalty? What penalty did he take on that play, or in that series of events?
Did he get roughing? I don't know what he got.
I think he got roughing just for the fight, and he was back on the ice. So Marchand got a game misconduct, right? It was out. Yeah, there are some people who are calling for a 3-game suspension on this guy who shot
Marchand
the puck,
or the other guy.
The other guy.
Yeah,
and that's the beauty of a player like Marchand who can just get under your skin, and knows how to do it. Yeah, there are a lot of people who've been making comments about. I think somebody had a sign in Carolina that says, "A rat dressed up as a cat is still a rat."
That's fun. That is so good.
It's awesome.
Did you see the guy who does the Instagram reels? Like he was the one that did the Gretzky goals guy one. He did one where he had rat faces on.
I missed that one. That's awesome.
I'll find it and send it to you guys. It's hilarious. I love that guy. I just found him this season. He's classic. He's some Canadian. I don't know. He's like.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, you know. He's like, what do you think of that goals guy?
It's kind of weird. Yeah, it's a kind of a weird thing where they do. He records facing this way and then records facing this way and gets that whole all the cuts awesome. There. Yeah, I would really love to hear from you when you listen to this what your picks are. Add them into the comments. I'm getting more views on this on YouTube, so you must like the video of what we're doing here. So if you have a pick, put it in the comments. Share it with us, and we want to know who in each series and in how many games. Who in each series and in how many games. And there's part of me who thinks that I should just go with the anti-pick because my picks have been so bad so far that I should just go. I should go Bizarro world, go opposite world.
Bizarro world picks.
It's really exciting to watch hockey when you don't have a team that's really in the hunt.
You can just be brutally honest about what's going to happen.
You can just
not your emotions.
You can sit back and enjoy the game. And I'll get frustrated with a bunch of stuff.
As entertaining as the games are, and Jacqueline, this is to your point. I mean, when we talk about commentary and everything like that, and I'm curious to get your guys' thoughts. I mean, I love the TNT crew. I love Paul Bissonnette, Anson Carter, Henrik Lundqvist, Liam McHugh. Like, just great fucking commentary. They're so
good,
fun. They're so okay.
I have a question. Did Liam McHugh ever play hockey? In the NHL. Know. I don't think he did. I could be wrong. I've not looked. I have not asked ChatGPT or Googled it. Did he ever play
one of the? He made one of the best. Man. He made one of the best comments.
I like him as a commentator. Like, he's great. Don't get me wrong.
I don't think he ever played.
I mean, look at the man. There's no way he played hockey. But anyway, I really like it.
How do you spell his last name?
MCHUGH.
And I love it when they have Bissonnette, like when they got Biss and what's his name, PK Subban. Did you see his like sparkling jacket the other day?
Well, so Subban, and then you've got Subban, and you've got Mark Messier, and then who's
Mark
the other one?
Messier is looking pretty fine for his age, I must say, as a lady.
If we're talking about like who's the, I know that you're a Leon Draisaitl fan. I think that Henrik Lundqvist is one of the most attractive,
He's a
aging,
handsome.
very handsome, best suits I have ever seen. Hairline of a god. Like, I mean, the guy
Oh,
is
yeah.
the guy is fucking awesome. If you guys haven't seen his,
Bro is good looking and well dressed.
yeah, if you haven't seen his documentary, I think it's on Netflix about his journey and what happened with his heart and everything like that, and why he retired from New York.
I haven't seen that. I'm gonna watch that now. Oh my god.
One of the best docuseries I've seen in a long time. Really
Did you guys
cool
ever
guy.
see the ESPN one on Gretzky and leaving Edmonton and going to LA Kings? That's a fucking wild story.
Missed that one. I need to check that one out. That'd be awesome.
It's one of those 30 on 30 things. I saw it on an airplane one time. I was like, oh my god, I had no idea.
Any hockey series show is just knocks everything else out of the park. So,
oh, favorite hockey movie? That's a good question.
oh, Miracle. Is that even a question?
Well, sure it is.
All right.
Very good
You know, he's
movie.
thinking about Paul Newman at the moment.
Slapshot just doesn't stand up. It doesn't stand the test of time. Like I tried to do it one
Nobody
year.
watching it today would find it interesting.
Well,
You'd have to
I
grow
tried to
up.
do it in one of those, one of the Merriam Bright episodes, like
I remember
that Christmas
that.
thing that I do.
Yeah.
So I tried to do Slapshot, and when you're watching it, you're like, it just doesn't carry.
land.
There are definitely scenes in it that are absolutely hilarious and are memorable, but it doesn't. As a movie, it doesn't really carry.
For me, it's
think-
Miracle or the Mighty Ducks.
Yeah,
Mighty Ducks. I mean, that's a great movie.
I don't know. Is Strange Brew a hockey movie?
Is it?
Yeah.
Maybe. It's kind of like his Die Hard, a Christmas movie. It's like
Strange Brew. Couple of really good ones.
I like.
I mean,
Miracle,
heck, you could go back through. What do you have? You obviously you had said the Mighty Ducks, and then you have Slapshot. You have Miracle. You have what was the one that they did up in Alaska, where that
Oh yeah, don't remember the name of it. Shoot.
it has that team that I don't like mentioning that played against a bunch of people up in Alaska. One of the teams mentioned a couple of times by two players that are on ESPN that used to be part of that team. What
team are you
else?
thinking about, Mike? What team is it? The team that you can't mention?
All I think about is 1940, which was the year that the last year that they had won the cup until a bunch of old Oilers joined their team and helped change the way that team played. But
Is that Mystery Alaska?
Mystery Alaska, I think
That's
I
it.
think that's it. I think that's
Yeah.
it. That's a good one. Favorite though. There you go. There's another one. Add your favorite hockey movie into the comments. Miracle's a really good one. Miracle's a really good one. I watched that again just a couple months ago.
Well, Mike, it's okay. We don't have to mention that team. You know I hate them as well. You know I got dumped at a game there, right? So
Yep. See,
years before I met my husband.
nothing good happens at that place. Nothing good.
Piece of shit.
It is.
Lundqvist was the one shining thing from that team ever.
They've-
Maybe Messier too.
they've,
Otherwise, they sucked.
they
And weren't they stupid enough to hire Tortorella as a coach too? Right? Yeah, they were. I think.
How as bad as that team? Your favorite team picked up Quinville.
I love Quenneville. Don't be hating on
We
Cube.
talked about him
Cube.
last
like
time.
Cube.
I'm on the Quinville train too. He was at
I like
Colorado. I think he's a
the
good coach.
stash. He's awesome.
Yeah.
And now he's
I
now
guarantee
he's
Did you
you.
see-
I guarantee
now he's leading the
you-
Ducks.
I hate them, but I like him. It's fine. It's all good.
Constantine, did we see?
I was gonna say, I think Adam Foote just got named as the new head coach for. I want to say it was for Vancouver. So there's a lot
Are
of
they still a
coach
team? Do they still have a professional team in Vancouver? It's the
throwing
Dean Brothers
shade.
School of Diving.
Throwing shade. Yeah, the city.
Well,
Yes, exactly.
There's a good question. Who do you think's the next Canadian team to win a cup?
The Oilers. The Oilers,
Oilers
are
this
on,
year.
on the hunt. Yeah.
The Oilers in 2025, baby. I'm riding that horse till it dies.
The Oilers in 2025.
Hey, listen, Connor McDavid deserves to win a Stanley Cup in his lifetime, just the way Ovechkin did in 2018. Okay?
It's nothing about deserve though, right?
Yes. Matthew Tkachuk deserved to win a Stanley Cup, and he did. Just saying.
Earn it, baby. Yeah.
Earn.
He deserves the chance to earn a Stanley Cup.
got a chance every
His
time they make it
name
in the
on
playoffs.
Yeah, he had his chance last year.
I know.
Didn't work out. This
It
year, I mean,
it was a
they do look
heartbreaking
different.
day.
They do look
They do.
different this year. So
I do like that
I'm hopeful.
Draisaitl got had 2 back-to-back game winners.
Dude, that
For
was
2
fucking
different
awesome.
teams. Like,
When
that
you
was
sent
awesome.
that, when you sent that in the Slack, I was laughing so hard.
You
That
saw
was
my
so
emoji
good.
reaction, right? It was not a
Yeah.
finger pointing up.
All right, so
I thought it was good.
run us through our picks one more time before we wrap
Oh,
up.
all right.
And
Sales is a thinking process. No, I'm just kidding. Okay. Mike Simmons is going with the Panthers in a sweep 4 games. Constantine John's Panthers in 6 games. And Jacqueline, who was saying Panthers in 7 games, decided to say Canes in 7 games, but who knows what will happen. All right. On the Western Front, Mike Simmons says Stars in 7 games. Constantine John says Oilers in 7 games. And Jacqueline, myself, I say Oilers in 6 games. I want them to win at home. That'd be nice. Cold up
All
there.
right.
Don't have a lot to do in Canada.
if you know somebody who would find this conversation fun, share it with them. If you have picks, let us know what those picks are. Remember, team and number of games.
And your
if you
favorite
have
hockey movie.
favorite hockey movie, let us know that as well. The shares help. Now I'm going to sign off the traditional way. Sales is a thinking process. Business is a thinking process. Life is a thinking process. How are you thinking different about your process?